Grand Archive is one of the hottest new card games in a sea of endless new card games releasing. What makes it different from the rest? How does it compare to the big three? I played a good amount of TGCs, so let's dive in. First, I don't want to talk about this game being an investment. We've all seen how games like that turn out. Grand Archive's recent cards have new technology that prevents foils from curling. This card stock is thick and has layers. If you want cards that can last into the future, this is your game. The gameplay is a mix of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic. The rules are easy to learn but difficult to master. On a player's first turn, they'll materialize a spirit. There are different spirits with different rules for how many cards for an opening hand. These spirits dictate what kind of basic element spells you can play from your deck. For example, a fire spirit allows you to play fire cards. Next, you can play an ally or spell cards. To play a card, you look at its cost and set cards from your hand into your memory. The cards you choose to set are really important to consider. Allies stay in the field, while spells tend to be one-time use. When you're done playing cards, you pass your turn. Let's go over the turn structure now. First comes the wake up phase. All of a player's rested cards wake up. Next is the material phase. Think of the materials deck like Yu-Gi-Oh's extra deck. You can materialize one card from the deck in this phase. Some cards have a cost. How do we pay for a material cost? By banishing a card at random from our memory. If you think this is too random, you could play cards with floating memory ability to banish from your graveyard instead. Like Yu-Gi-Oh, this gives you a toolbox to work with. Following our materialization phase, now we go to the recollection phase where we recollect cards from our memory and add them back to our hand. Finally comes the draw phase. Now we're back to our main phase. We could summon more allies, play more spells, or enter the battle phase. Entering the battle phase is as simple as declaring an attack with an ally. The battle system is also a mix of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic. If an ally attacks an ally that's standing, the opposing ally is allowed to retaliate. Damage calculation works like Magic, with power being compared to defense, and if a unit retaliated, it's as calculated at the same time. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Part comes in when picking targets. You could choose the target of your attacks. Unless an ally has an ability, an opponent won't be assigning blockers. Don't think you could just attack unopposed though. Your opponent has the opportunity to activate fast spells in response. Grand Archive's chaining system is different from other card games. You don't lose opportunities to respond like in other card games. Did an opponent play a fast card that prevents the next instance of damage? Let it resolve and play a fast spell that causes damage in response. When you're finished attacking with an ally, it reverts back to your main phase. If you want to attack again with another unit, it goes back to battle phase. This keeps happening until you're finished attacking with everything and you want to end your turn. At this point, it's the end phase and it's your opponent's turn. You can splash engines into other builds. This makes it similar to Pokemon's attribute system. If you have a fire skeleton, you could switch normal Sylvie to fire Sylvie. In terms of budget, you'll find this game is fairly inexpensive to play. At the moment, you can pick up a Sylvie Recollection deck, some dungeon guides, and be able to hold your own at locals. If you wanted to make it a standard competitive build, it's not too much either. So what do you think of Grand Archive? Does it interest you? Did you need 2 more good reasons to play it? Let me know in the comments.